Hi, I'm Josiah.
And I'm Emily.
And this is Worth Watching. This just in, the giant monster Godzilla is wreaking havoc across the western seaboard of the United States.
And as far as we know, he is not a man in a rubber suit. Hello everybody, welcome to this episode of Worth Watching. We're going to be reviewing Godzilla.
Now, as many of you may notice, this is not Elizabeth. Elizabeth is gone this week, so we have Emily filling in for her. So everybody say hi, Emily. And yes, this week we're reviewing Godzilla, starring Aaron Taylor Johnson, Bryan Cranston, and Elizabeth Olsen. So most of you are probably familiar with the basic plot of Godzilla. Essentially what you're dealing with is this creature that comes from the bottom of the ocean, from underground somewhere, some subterranean habitat. It's a nuclear creature. It feeds off nuclear energy. His name is Godzilla, and he is just this massive monster who does not like people or does not care about them or just doesn't even know they exist, and just plows on through cities and destroys a whole lot of stuff.
Alright, so for me, when I went to go see it, I had the bar set really low because I just thought it'd be cheesy and whatnot. But in the very beginning, the movie emotionally draws you in. Like, I was sitting in my seat and I was like, there's no way that I will not watch this movie to the very end. Like, it's just so gripping and suspenseful.
Yeah, there's a moment in the beginning of the film which is one of just the most gut-wrenching, heart-wrenching moments that I've seen in a long time in a movie, and it takes place in like the first 5 minutes before you've even gotten a chance to really know any of the characters involved and stuff. Yeah. So kudos to the filmmakers for doing that. Very, very well done. I went into this with really, really high hopes. It's been one of my most anticipated movies of the year. I think I set the bar a little too high for myself, so I wasn't, as blown away as I was hoping to be. But the movie is, all in all, a good film.
Okay, so one thing that really struck me during the movie was the CGI. Like, that moment when you see Godzilla for the first time, and I was totally blown away. It's absolutely spectacular.
Yes. All the creatures in this film are amazing looking, and that actually was awesome to see. But it also relates to one of my little gripes with the movie, which is that I thought that the movie did not focus enough on Godzilla, because in the trailers and stuff, they pitch him as this main villain. For a lot of the movie, most of what you're seeing are these other two creatures that are sort of also other big subterranean monsters that Godzilla ends up fighting and stuff like that. But really, you don't see a lot of Godzilla for about the first half of the movie. It's more so focused on these creatures, and they're really more of the primary antagonists in the movie. But like I said, I actually really did enjoy this movie overall, especially an element of the film that struck me was the cinematography. All of the shots in this movie look amazing. This is just some excellent cinematography, and there's a lot of really cool symbolism in stuff that they frame in the shots. And one of my favorite things is that, like those screensaver backgrounds that people have of their things where it's like one tiny little guy, like this big monster and stuff, it's all crazy, like this big crazy fantasy artwork. A lot of the shots in this movie look like it's just stripped right out of that, where you have tiny little person down here in the center of the screen, and the entire background behind them is just something massive. And it's just so well done, and you just look at it and you just go, wow.
Also, something that I always look for is the plot believable. And for me, that's really important. But this movie was actually plausible. Like, they explained everything in the backstory of how this could possibly happen. So it wasn't super corny.
Right. I mean, it's still obviously fantasy and fantastic and stuff like that. But it's, you can suspend your disbelief really easily without just going, this feels ridiculous. Yeah. Something I really have to praise about the movie as well is just the soundtrack. It's so well done. It's epic. It's frightening. It's intense. It heightens the drama in scenes. And it just unnerves you and works so well, and it's something that's great to listen to on its own. Like, it can stand on its own as a really listenable soundtrack, as well as making the movie just that much better.
Okay, that's what I'm
there you go.
All right.
All right, so on a scale of A through F, what would you rate Godzilla?
I'm going to give it a high B because it exceeded my expectations, but there were still a couple of things about it that...
Yeah. I'm actually going to give it a higher rating than you. I'm going to give it a really low A simply because of what it does for Godzilla, how much of just a great movie it was, and the only reason I have little gripes with it, I'm nitpicking with all of my gripes, because I had the bar just set so impossibly high because I was anticipating it so much. With a rewatch, and trust me, I will watch it again, I'm sure I would, enjoy it a lot more and just look past any little things that it had wrong with it.
Thanks for watching this episode of Worth Watching.
Remember to like the video if you liked it, comment down below on your thoughts on Godzilla, and of course subscribe if you want to see more.